lack of control. And so looking more into that, that really is, you have a lot of responsibility, but essentially no control. So one of the examples that I think about, like early in my career, and this was back in the day, I used to have a Blackberry, and you would, in investment banking, and you would hear it vibrate, right? When they needed you to come back in the office. And it was just like, oh my, like I have high demands. I need to put together these pitch decks or, diligence documents, right? But I also have no control over my schedule. At any minute, right, I could get called back into the office, and I still have nightmares, right, about like that buzzing Blackberry. But for financing and accounting teams, right, like how can you involve your team in being part of some of the decision-making processes, right? So it's not just that they're the receiver of information, but they can be part of the conversation, doing the analyses, right? Like advocating for one thing over the other. Because a lot of times this is going to impact their workflow, right? And so again, not necessarily that they are the ultimate decision maker, right? Or the main point of contact or person responsible, but really thinking about like, how can we just make sure that finance and accounting has a voice and a perspective, right, in some of these key decisions. I think that in and of itself, at least I've found to be incredibly helpful. One, from just like team engagement, but two, also so that the team can anticipate, right, like what is coming down the pipeline. If you were suddenly going to sign a deal with Target, hey, like let's make sure, right? Like what does this look like? What are some of the things that we need to be negotiating for, to be asking for, to be thinking about, both from the day-to-day perspective of the accounting and financing, but also for the business. And so I think having those people on your team, right, be part of those conversations is incredibly valuable, but also can help, right, like with the engagement. It's something new, they're learning, they get to be part of the process.